Now let's get to the freaking tariffs. It's Trump tariff time.
Tariffs. The president is set to impose new sales taxes on imports, and Wall Street is bracing for the impact. We're going to have the latest from Wall Street first. Chief White House correspondent Mary Bruce. Good morning, Mary.
Good morning, Georgia. President Trump is poised to upend the global economy with these unprecedented tariffs coming tomorrow, but the details still remain unclear, creating even more anxiety for the markets and American consumers. This morning, President Trump is touting his upcoming blitz of tariffs against American trading partners.
They're reciprocal, so whatever
No,
they
I'm not
charge
going to finish the college student video. I don't care.
Nicer than they were.
But it's still unclear how big these tariffs will be or which countries will be targeted. Has the president decided on the scale and scope of these tariffs?
It's time for reciprocity, and it's time for a president to take historic change to do what's right for the American people.
The president is adamant his tariffs will encourage manufacturing in the U.S. and ultimately boost the economy. But experts caution it could take years to bring industries back to American soil. And in the meantime, American consumers will likely pay the price. Economists warning tariffs are just taxes on imported products paid for by American businesses. Those costs passed on to consumers in the form of higher prices. In just days, prices could skyrocket on everything from groceries and clothing to electronics and cars. By one estimate, the cost of a new car could go up by more than $8,000 when tariffs on foreign-made vehicles kick in later this week, sending some consumers scrambling. In Ferndale, Michigan, Karen Petke had planned to buy a new Subaru in June. Instead, she rushed to the dealership.
I didn't want to take a chance that this car could go up thousands of dollars.
Small businesses are also bracing for the impact of Trump's trade war.
The chaotic nature of how these tariffs are rolled out and how it changes every single day. How am I supposed to plan for that? I can't plan for that.
In Buffalo, New York, Dave Sheffield sells custom sports products, many imported from Canada. Now with tariffs in place and potentially more to come, he says he could lose thousands of dollars.
We're having to either, take that hit on our bottom line and just at the end of the year, I make $10,000, $15,000, $20,000 less for my family, or we have to pass it on to our customers, which when customers see a higher price, then sales typically go down. So we're kind of stuck between a rock and a hard place.
And a new poll from the Associated Press shows Americans aren't sold on the president's trade policies, 60% disapproving with 38% approving. And on his handling of the economy overall, 58% disapproving with 40% approving. Robin.
All right, Mary, our thanks to you.
Europe did not start this confrontation.
Hey all, Peter Zion here, coming to you from a bright and sunny
What is this? This helped you understand the tariffs? There's a little on the high end. Goldman estimating 10-15% increase in new car prices after dealerships eat through the current inventory. Additionally, 60% of raw materials are imported to the U.S. to make cars. Is so fucked.
We think it is wrong. But my message to you today is that we have everything we need to protect our people and our prosperity. We have the largest single market in the world. We have the strength to negotiate. We have the power to push back. And the people of Europe should know that together we will always promote and defend our interests and our values, and together we will always stand up for our Europe. Tariffs will just fuel inflation, exactly the opposite of what we wanted to achieve. We are open to negotiations. We will approach these negotiations from a position of strength. Europe holds a lot of cards, from trade to technology to the size of our market. But this strength is also built on our readiness to take firm countermeasures if necessary. All instruments are on the table. Our immediate response to tariffs is unity and determination. Our objective is a negotiated solution. But of course, if need be, we will protect our interests, our people and our companies. Europe has not started this confrontation. We do not necessarily want to retaliate. But if it is necessary, we have a strong plan to retaliate and we will use it.
Donald Trump's blueprint
for America looks something like this. Big industry, power and might. Made in America, made by Americans.
How many people work here? It's 1,100 and some.
We're inside a metal plant in rural West Virginia. It is one of the largest.
I think one of the ironic aspects of like American domestic manufacturing also taking somewhat of a hit is that like my merch is made in the United States. I'm proud of it. Okay. And it's made in facilities that have unionized workers. Okay. It's labor union made. It's American made. Having said that, the raw materials necessary for the garments, I suspect, at least some of them, are probably not sourced from the United States of America to make the garments, right? So even in that process, I suspect that the price of the actual T-shirt, like the blanks that are still produced in the United States of America in union facilities, are most likely going to go up. So even if someone is working with American-made manufacturing, even if someone is making American-made manufacturing, you better take the hit. That's so funny that you're saying that. Brother, I don't know how to describe this to you, but people that have tried to people that have tried to look at the will you absorb the cost? One, yes, of course, but I don't think you understand that like there's a reason why people that make their shit in China sell their t-shirts for a higher price point than I do in the United States of America with union-made manufacturing. I'm already eating the cost. It's fine, and I don't have an issue with it, but just know that there is, there might not be more cost to eat. I basically already sell it at cost. Just understand, there's a reason why the shirts that I sell at ideology.shop, Union Made American Made, there's a reason why it's cheaper than every other merchandise that you see from other streamers that are making their merchandise overseas. It's because of the fact that I have eaten the cost in terms of the profit margins. Okay? And I will continue to do so. I saw a few Twitter Andes saying the shirts are not union made because they're cheap. I know. That's what's so funny about it, is because the expectation from people is that it's virtually impossible. It's virtually impossible for someone to make shirts and sell it at $35 fucking dollars if those shirts are made in the US and with union manufacturing. They consider it to be fucking unbelievable.